Have you ever held a secret so close to your heart that you could feel its weight in your very bones? A truth so devastating that acknowledging it would shatter the world you've so carefully built. I lived with such a secret. It didn't arrive with a bang or a dramatic confession. No, it crept into my life on a quiet Tuesday evening disguised as nothing more than a scent. It was his cologne. Mark always wore the same one, a crisp, woody fragrance I'd bought him for our 5th anniversary. It was the scent of our life together. The scent of his goodnight kiss, of his hugs when he came home from work. It was my scent, until it wasn't. One night he came home late from a supposed client dinner. He leaned in to kiss me and I caught it. A whisper, a ghost of a smell layered beneath the familiar notes. Something sweet, floral, and utterly foreign. A perfume that was not mine. My heart, that foolish, trusting organ, didn't just skip a beat. It stuttered, tripped, and fell into a cold, dark pit in my stomach. I pulled back just an inch. "Long dinner?" He smiled. That easy, charming smile that had once made my knees weak. Now it felt like a practice performance. The usual. Thompson from accounting. The man could talk the ear off a statue. He ruffled my hair and walked towards the kitchen, his voice fading. "I'm beat. Heading up for a shower." A shower. At 10 p.m. The words echoed in the silent, spacious hallway of the home we shared. The home we had bought with dreams in our eyes and promises on our lips. I stood there, frozen. The phantom scent of another woman clinging to the air around me. It was the first crack. A hairline fracture in the beautiful, perfect porcelain vase of our marriage. In that moment, I wasn't the successful gallery owner, Elena. I was just a woman standing alone in her foyer, with the chilling certainty that the man she loved was a stranger. And once you start looking for the cracks, you find them everywhere. The foundation of our life together wasn't just cracked. It was crumbling. I couldn't live on a diet of suspicion and anxiety. I needed proof. Not for him, not for a divorce lawyer. Not yet, I needed it for me. I needed to look the monster in the eye, so I could finally stop being afraid of it. So I began my own investigation. The digital world, that's where the real truth lived. I'm not a hacker. I'm an art curator. But a woman with a broken heart and a burning need for the truth can learn anything. I discovered the Find My Phone app we shared for safety. One evening, when he said he was working late, the little dot on the map wasn't at his office. It was pulsing softly in an upscale apartment building across town. An apartment owned by a woman named Sarah Mitchell. Sarah, the name from the text. The final piece of the puzzle, the one that shattered any lingering hope, came from his iPad. It was synced to his phone. He'd forgotten it on the couch one night. My hands were ice cold as I opened it. The messages, the photos. There were selfies of them together. There were pet names. He called her Sunshine. He used to call me that. I read every word. I looked at every picture. I let the poison fill me until there was no room left for love, for grief, for anything but a cold, clear, and terrifying clarity. He had his secret, and now I had mine. Revenge is a dish best served cold. I'd heard the saying, but I never understood it until that moment, my heart encased in ice. A hot, messy confrontation, that would have been a release for him. No, that was not my path. My revenge would be silent, meticulously planned. I would be a phantom, a force of nature he never saw coming. My plan had 2 phases. First, I would become the perfect wife. I would lull him into a false sense of security. I cooked his favorite meals. I listened to his boring work stories with a smile. I initiated intimacy, all the while imagining the fortress of evidence I was building. Phase 2 was the real work. I met with the sharpest divorce lawyer. I started moving money. I documented everything. And I targeted his work. His precious career was a house of cards. And I was about to create a very, very strong wind. For months I lived this double life. By day, the doting wife. By night, the architect of ruin. It was exhausting. It was lonely. But then I'd remember him calling her Sunshine, and the ice would return. The stage was set. The trigger was an email. The project proposal, urgent. I didn't need to read it. Its arrival was the signal. It was time. I chose a Monday. I got Lily ready for school. I was calm, serene. "Have a great day, honey," I said, handing him his travel mug. I even smoothed his tie. The moment the door closed behind him, the performance was over. The phantom took center stage. I sent a single anonymous email to the head of HR and the CEO. Attached was a dossier of irrefutable evidence. I transferred 50% of our money. I called my lawyer. It's time. Serve him at his office. I packed a suitcase. I was leaving with quiet final dignity. As I placed the last of my things in the car, my phone buzzed. It was Mark. I didn't answer. Let him panic. Let him feel the ground crumbling beneath his feet. Checkmate. Silence can be the loudest sound in the world. For the next 24 hours, I embraced it. I was an island of calm in the hurricane I had unleashed. Later, I learned the details. The email caused a nuclear explosion. He was escorted from the building. His career was over. Sarah was fired. The financial blow landed. The divorce papers demanded everything. His voicemails progressed from angry to panicked to broken. The final one was just a raw, gut-wrenching sob. I'm sorry, you win. Please don't take Lily. There it was. The sound of his tears. He was crying, and I felt nothing. I finally agreed to meet him in a cold, gray park. He looked destroyed. Why, Elena? Why this? He asked, his voice hoarse. I looked at him. This man I had loved for a decade, and I felt a profound, bone-deep pity. Confronting you would have given you a chance to lie more, I said, my voice calm. You took away my power, so I took it back. I took back the power, the control, and the truth. He flinched. I never meant to hurt you like this, he whispered. That's the problem, I replied. You never meant to get caught. You're not sorry for what you did. You're sorry that there are consequences. As I stood to leave, he looked up, tears streaming. I loved you. I still do, I paused. You lost the right to say that to me the first time you called her sunshine. You don't get to cry over the life you chose to burn down. You get to live in the ashes. That is what you deserved. I turned and walked away. I didn't look back. The aftermath of a storm is always quiet. The air is clean. The landscape is changed, sometimes scarred, but there is a clarity, a chance for new growth. That's what my life became. I rebuilt. The gallery flourished. I rediscovered the woman I was before I became Mark's wife. She was strong. She was resilient. She was enough. I'm not grateful for what happened. The betrayal left a permanent scar, but it taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. So what is the moral? Is it that revenge is sweet? In a way, yes. But that's not the real lesson. The satisfaction faded. What remained was the peace I had forged. The real lesson is this: your power is never truly gone. It can be buried under doubt, hidden by love, and silenced by fear. But it is always there. My revenge was not about hatred. It was about reclaiming my narrative. I didn't destroy him out of spite. I dismantled the false life he had built so I could walk away from the ruins with my head held high, my daughter's hand in mine, and my future shining brightly ahead of me. He cried because he lost everything. I didn't cry, because I realized I had just gained everything that truly mattered. If you are in the quiet, terrifying silence of your own foyer, smelling the scent of a stranger, remember this: your pain is real, your betrayal is valid, but you are not powerless. You are the author of your story. And sometimes the most powerful chapter you will ever write is the one where you close the book on someone else's lies and start a new volume, all your own.